Massive default by Chinese asset management firm puts 500,000 investors at risk of total loss. Chinese real estate continually experiences defaults, increasing difficulty for migrant workers to collect wages. Analysis: why middle-class people are fleeing China. Heavy snow in Hubei seals cars on highway, stranded motorists voice despair. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Massive default by Chinese asset management firm puts 500,000 investors at risk of total loss. Lately, the finance and real estate sectors in China have been sounding the alarm, with numerous firms facing financial troubles. The most recent development involves the Shenzhen-based asset management firm Yifeng, now grappling with a serious liquidity issue. Its debts are believed to surpass 130 billion yuan, approximately $18.23 billion, putting 500,000 investors at risk of losing everything. Reports from Singtao Daily in Hong Kong, Economic Observer, Securities Times, and other outlets indicate that since its founding in 2011, Yifeng has managed assets worth over 100 billion yuan, approximately $14.1 billion, and holds stakes in various companies listed in Hong Kong and on the A-share market. Sui Guangyi, the founder and chairman of Yifeng, who also served as the deputy mayor of Dunhua City in Jilin Province, has been hailed as the Warren Buffett of the new century. He claims investment strategies with up to 60% annual returns and has expanded his business into highly sought-after and cutting-edge sectors, including projects like artificial suns and photon spaceships, while also expressing loyalty to the Chinese Communist Party. Yifeng has also gained attention for inviting world-renowned personalities to its annual meetings. Notably, former French President Nicolas Sarkozy, former Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd, and former Japanese Prime Minister Yukio Hatoyama attended the company's 2018 annual meeting in Shenzhen. Amid ongoing speculation of Yifeng's financial instability since last August, social media videos showed a delegation led by a sheikh prince from the UAE visiting Yifeng's Shenzhen offices. Subsequently, there were claims that the sheikh prince had committed a significant $30 billion investment to Yifeng for potential collaboration in finance, cultural tourism, and more. However, an insider named Ms. Lei disclosed to the International Financial News that these investment claims were baseless. She clarified that the sheikh prince had neither invested in Yifeng nor engaged in any substantial cooperation. The sheikh prince's visit in November was intended for business exploration and discussion. The photo session with Sui Guangyi and others was orchestrated by Yifeng staff under the pretense of presenting traditional art, leading to their joint appearance in the footage. Many believers have not awakened from their investment dreams. Singtao journalists recently explored Yifeng's headquarters in the Bin Times building, nestled in the heart of Futian, Shenzhen. This building, with Yifeng claiming floors 53, 56, and 58, stands as a prominent feature of Futian's skyline. However, at present, the 53rd floor is nearly empty, its office spaces darkened and unused. A property management representative disclosed, the landlord intends to take back the 53rd floor. The 58th floor shares this quietude, in contrast to the lively atmosphere on the 56th floor. Here, elegantly dressed, cheerful groups of middle-aged men and women gathered, proceeding through security to meet with assigned sales representatives. In a mere 3-hour span from 2 to 5 p.m., around 100 investors visited. Within the meeting room, the sales team declared, "Our path is not merely human, but heaven." Their presentations spanned from the Bible, covering both testaments, to digital assets, eliciting applause and nods of agreement from the audience. As long as all is well, that's exactly what we like to hear. In the face of several collective rights protection efforts by investors in Shenzhen, Yifeng unveiled a digital options restructuring strategy within their investor WeChat groups. They announced plans to launch digital options on an international digital asset exchange and required all investors to refrain from withdrawing their investments from January 10 to September 10 of this year, effectively locking funds for 8 months. Investors listed were asked to sign a contract ensuring asset management, with a promise of a 20-fold return on assets after 10 years. Exiting the meeting room, one anonymous investor shared with Tsingtao journalists, with the broader economy struggling and numerous factories shutting down, waiting a few more months seems trivial. He felt agitation was unnecessary, stating, "We're all in this together, wishing for the company's well-being." Another confident female investor remarked, "All is well, there's nothing to worry about, everything's sorted now. There's surely no issue, with people investing millions upon millions." Su Hongtu, an attorney at Zhujiang Zisu law firm, informed the Economic Observer that Sui Guangyi, among others, has long engaged in fraudulent activities for illegal fundraising, swindling substantial amounts of public money, and is unequivocally implicated in crimes related to fundraising fraud or illegally attracting public deposits. Subsequently, journalists from the newspaper visited the Economic Crime Investigation Unit at the Baoan District Public Security Bureau in Shenzhen, posing as investors to probe the situation. The authorities described the Yifeng case as exceedingly intricate, with the number of reported investors surpassing 500,000 and the involved funds exceeding 100 billion yuan, approximately $14.1 billion, anticipating a prolonged process to resolve the matter. Chinese real estate continually experiences defaults, increasing difficulty for migrant workers to collect wages. The Chinese real estate industry frequently faces collapses, impacting various sectors upstream and downstream, and exacerbating challenges for migrant workers at construction sites. As the Lunar New Year approaches, the journey to wage recovery for these vulnerable workers becomes even more daunting. On February 5, Guangzhou Scholars, a platform focusing on Chinese social events, published an article by Su Zhenjian, a lecturer at Northwest ANF University in Shaanxi. The article, titled "Real Estate is a Major Source of Wage Arrears for Migrant Workers, with 2022 Payments Still Outstanding," highlighted the prevalence of wage arrears at construction sites of real estate developers, attributed to unsold projects and poor market conditions. Su Zhenjian emphasized that developers' cautious approach exacerbates wage arrears, especially amidst sluggish property markets. Despite having funds, many bosses are reluctant to settle debts. Only half of the 2022 wages were settled by the end of last year, with the remaining arrears to be paid by mid-2023 or even later. Su cited the case of Lao Su, an electrician hired in 2022 with a promised monthly salary of 10,000 yuan. Despite legal action, the employer cited financial difficulties and failed to pay. As the Lunar New Year approaches, migrant workers engage in prolonged battles for wage recovery, facing challenges from employers, planning departments, and subcontractors. Recently, Guangzhou Scholars released 2 videos on February 6, showing migrant workers demanding unpaid wages. One video depicts workers from Gansu Zhongqin Construction Company, Limited facing police suppression while demanding wages from the Tianshui city government. In the other video, workers from Guangzhou Bay, Chongqing, collectively demand their wages, with some resorting to extreme measures like attempting to jump off buildings. Analysis: Why middle-class people are fleeing China. In recent years, there has been a significant wave of people fleeing China as individuals from all social strata exhaust every means to escape the country. A portion of China's middle-class population has also opted to emigrate to the United States. What prompts them to abandon their homes and careers and flee China? Dr. Liu, a mainland Chinese doctor and former CCP supporter, shared his story with NTD Television, highlighting his once prosperous life in China with a successful career and a comfortable lifestyle. Despite his high earnings, the forced eviction of his pharmacy by the government, resulting in significant financial loss and a failed legal battle against the authorities, made him see through the CCP's evil nature, prompting him to flee to the United States. He said, "The sacrifices are significant when you come to the United States. After we woke up, we had to give up everything, but it's definitely worth it. I feel that the United States is not exactly heaven, but it's very close to it. There is no pressure here. You can earn enough money in a day to support yourself for 4 days." Mr. Wei, a 34-year-old university graduate and former project manager at an Apple factory in China, decided to flee after being detained for accessing censored information and feeling a sense of hopelessness. His journey to the US was inspired by the desire for freedom of expression, a stark contrast to the restrictive environment in China. Mr. Zhang, a retired professor from Anhui province, left China for the US due to the intense mental stress and persecution he faced for his Christian beliefs, compounded by the local authorities' constant harassment. Coupled with pervasive fear, deceit, suppression, and setbacks, such as being denied visas multiple times and enduring the pandemic, he saw no hope. He realized that continuing to endure would not only mean facing fear and suppression but potentially facing extinction. Mr. Gu, a translator, was compelled to leave China after losing his job for religious reasons and experiencing frequent police harassment. His story echoes a broader pattern of individuals choosing to emigrate in search of a safer environment. The number of Chinese nationals seeking refuge in the United States has significantly increased, with over 24,000 asylum applications in 2022 alone, and more than 20,000 apprehensions at the US-Mexico border from January to September 2023. This surge in emigration reflects a growing desire among Chinese citizens for freedom and safety, away from the repressive conditions in their home country. Heavy snow in Hubei seals cars on highway, stranded motorists voice despair. On February 6, during a severe snowstorm, the Suguan Expressway in Hubei was shut down, leaving numerous trucks marooned on the roadway. Individuals took to posting videos online asking for assistance, with one woman declaring in her video, "Today is February 6th, they closed the road at 2 a.m. last night, and now, the heavy snow has returned. I'm feeling utterly hopeless, it's indescribable, all I'm filled with is despair, despair. Who would ever want this?" Online users voiced their empathy, commenting, "That's just heartbreaking, why would they close the road? And is ensuring traffic safety really worth more than preventing people from freezing to death on the highway?" Other users criticized the government's lack of action, emphasizing that people must rely on one another. An additional video depicted a tightly packed queue of vehicles stretching as far as the eye can see, stuck in the snowy congestion on the road, with the vehicles' roofs also laden with snow. Users explained that this was on a Hubei expressway, still clogged, primarily due to the cold and hunger. Some people, stranded on Hubei's expressways for more than 10 days or even longer, took to Weibo to call for help. Since February 1, regions including Hubei and Hunan have faced ongoing snowfall, particularly in Hubei province, where nearly the entire province has seen snow accumulation. On the morning of February 5, the blizzard conditions resulted in the temporary shutdown of about 40 sections of expressways in Hubei. The traffic network to the west of Wuhan, as shown on map navigation, remains a congested red. Freezing rain grounds high-speed trains, old-fashioned locomotives employed for traction. In the midst of severe freezing rain and blizzards, the highways and railways, which the Chinese Communist Party boasts as the world's premier high-speed rail systems, were severely impacted, with some trains coming to a complete halt, necessitating the use of traditional locomotives for towing. A plethora of videos circulating online showcase numerous high-speed and bullet trains, their rooftops ablaze with sparks, as they slowly progress along the tracks. In a striking contrast, the necessity-driven deployment of vintage green carriages saw them swiftly overtaking their modern counterparts. Further footage reveals some high-speed trains stalled mid-journey, being sluggishly towed by vintage diesel engines, sparking witty remarks about high-speed trains being led by their ancient ancestors. Reports have also surfaced of sightings of even more archaic steam locomotives, indicating that the New Year travel surge saw the operation of trains from 3 generations, with the high-speed models underperforming the most. Additionally, netizens have shared close-up videos of sparks flying from the conductive telescopic rods atop high-speed trains, attributing the phenomenon to ice and snow on the wires compromising conductivity. These videos also showed moments when the conductive rods, hindered by ice, snapped off, rendering them non-functional. Recent online discourse has revolved around phrases like high-speed trains as slow as snails, diesel engines towing high-speed trains, and high-speed trains spotted with green carriages, as internet users ingeniously critique the CCP's so-called high-tech advancements. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.